Installing apps using the App Store on an iPad. After viewing this video, you will know how to install an app from the Apple App Store and log out of the App Store on an iPad. To get maximum benefit from this video, it is suggested you view it on a computer while performing the tasks it demonstrates on your iPad. You can pause the video and re-watch portions of it at any time as needed. Okay, let's go through the steps it takes to install an app on your iPad. To be successful doing these steps, you need to know your Apple ID, which is your Georgetown ISD email address. You set that up when you received your iPad during training. And then you need to know your Apple ID password. First, I'm going to go to the App Store. So I'm going to tap the App Store app. And when I first open the App Store, it usually opens on the featured page. You can see down here at the bottom of the screen the different pages that might open in the App Store. So if yours does not open on featured, simply tap that star to the far left and you'll be on the featured page. In a separate video, we're going to talk about how to look for quality apps. But for the purposes of demonstrating just how to download an app, I'm going to have you go look for a specific app that I know will be useful to you called iNigma, and it is an app used to read QR codes. The way that we're going to do that is we're going to tap up in the search bar because we already know the name of the app we want, and we're simply going to tap I, and this one happens to have a dash in it, so I'll hit my numbers and the dash, and then I'll hit my letters again, and it's N-I-G-M-A, iNigma. I can either tap search on the keyboard or look at the suggested results that the App Store is giving me and tap on one of those. So I'm going to tap the top one, iNigma. This brings up a few different options, but the one I know I want is the QR code reader, and it happens to be the one in the top left. So since I know this is the app I want, I simply tap the word free. We are, by the way, focusing on free apps, not apps we want to pay for. So I'm going to tap free and then install. Now if I was already signed into the App Store, what I might get here is just a request for my password, but I'm not signed in at all. So I'm going to tap Use Existing Apple ID, and remembering that my Apple ID is my full Georgetown ISD email address, and then my password is whatever I picked when I set this up. You're going to see mine blurred here so that you can't tell what it is. One of the disadvantages of iPad is it doesn't hide your passwords when you're typing them. Okay, now that my password is in there, I'm going to tap OK. And if I typed everything correctly, my app will begin to download. That one went fast. Gosh, did you see the little circle fill in? And now all of a sudden it says open because I could just open the app and start using it. So I don't really want to do that right now. I am just going to tap the home button and go back home. And it actually took me to the screen where iNigma went ahead and loaded. That's pretty cool. If an app takes longer than that to download, you don't have to wait in the App Store for it to finish. You can always come back out and check your email or do something else on your iPad while you're waiting. Now it's your turn to download some more apps. Please pause the video here and take time to download the following free apps. You will use at least one of these apps in a later training module. The apps are iBooks, Edu Creations, and iTunes U. Please resume watching the video when you have finished downloading the apps listed above. Thanks! A quick tip. It's a good idea to log out of the App Store when you are finished downloading apps. Watch further for instructions. Here's a quick precaution when using the App Store on your iPad. Usually your login to the App Store will time out after a certain amount of time, but if I'm sharing my iPad with students, I like to make sure that I'm logged out of the App Store just so they can't accidentally download anything to my account. So I'm going into the App Store again, And remember, the navigation for the App Store is on the bottom, so I'm going to tap Featured to get back to the kind of the home page of the App Store. It's the only place I can get to my account info. And then I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom to where I see my Apple ID down here in the bottom left corner. I'm going to tap on that and tap Sign Out, just to make sure no one can download apps on my account in the interim between the time I was using it and the time that it times out. This concludes our tutorial on installing apps and logging out of the App Store. If you are watching this video as part of iPad Basic Training, please proceed to the next section as instructed in the online materials.